In March 1942, Japanese forces seized control of Semarang, Indonesia, marking the beginning of a brutal occupation. Dutch civilians, including women and children, were rounded up and imprisoned in makeshift internment camps. This set the stage for one of World War II's most horrifying yet overlooked war crimes: the systematic sexual exploitation of Dutch women under the guise of comfort stations. Life in the Dutch women's camp was a daily struggle for survival. Overcrowded barracks, scarce food, and forced labor became the norm. Yet the worst was yet to come. Japanese officers began categorizing prisoners, singling out women for special duties, a euphemism for sexual slavery. The stage was set for the White Horse Incident. In late 1943, the so-called White Horse Unit took over the camp's operations. Named for the unit's insignia, their mission was clear: transform the camp into a brothel for Japanese soldiers. Women, especially those with blonde hair and blue eyes, were forcibly taken, their protests met with violence. The White Horse Incident had begun. The chosen women were hauled to a converted warehouse, stripped of their clothes, and subjected to relentless assaults. Some were as young as 15. The soldiers, emboldened by impunity, treated them as disposable objects. Survivors later recalled the smell of sweat and blood, the sound of laughter mingling with sobs. Days blurred into weeks. Women were forced to serve 20 to 30 soldiers daily, their bodies breaking under the abuse. Medical care was non-existent. Infections and pregnancies were common. Those who resisted were beaten or executed as warnings. The Japanese military meticulously documented their system, but these records would later vanish. Amid the horror, women found ways to resist. Some scratched names and dates onto walls. Others hid diaries in floorboards. These fragments would later prove crucial. One survivor, Anna van der Meer, recalled, "We wrote to remember because we knew they'd try to make us forget." When the war ended in 1945, survivors emerged broken. Many were shunned by their communities, branded as tainted. The Dutch government, eager to rebuild ties with Japan, buried reports. Meanwhile, Japanese officials destroyed evidence, claiming the comfort women were volunteers. The White Horse Incident faded into obscurity. In the 1990s, historians and activists began piecing together the truth. Hidden diaries, survivor testimonies, and declassified documents exposed the White Horse Incident as part of Japan's systematic war crimes. Yet, official apologies remained vague, and compensation was denied. The battle for acknowledgement raged on. The White Horse Incident wasn't an isolated atrocity. From Korea to the Philippines, wartime sexual violence followed a chillingly similar script. The Dutch women's stories forced the world to confront a universal truth. In war, women's bodies are often the first battleground, regardless of race or nationality. Decades later, the White Horse Incident remains a wound unhealed. Survivors have passed away, their voices preserved only in archives. Yet their struggle echoes in today's fights against wartime sexual violence. As the sun rises over Semarang's old camp, now a quiet field, one question lingers: will humanity ever learn?